Hey gang, it's Jason Brodsky here at Strategic Partners Financial Group. Today I have a tip I want to share for those of you that are currently making some decisions with your succession plan, whether you should build that plan from within versus going ahead and bringing in an outside firm to be part of that succession plan. So if you're in that boat, this is for you. So our firm has been part of succession plans where we've consulted for groups that have chosen to do their own internal plan and build their plan from within. We've also been part of groups where both directly and indirectly they chose to bring either us or another outside firm in and create their succession plan in that way. Both have their pros and cons, and I want to give you just a quick overview of what some of those high-level pros and cons are to approaching this from both of those ways. So first, if you have generally a runway of 5 years or more, 5 years meaning the amount of time from now until you're planning on being disengaged from most of the day-to-day operations and service in your organization, building an internal plan is probably completely viable. And along those lines, here are some tips and tricks that you may want to consider. First of all, consider whether you want to build your plan with the same person or group of people to be both the financial advisor to take over your roles and responsibilities to your clients and the business owner. We have, in many cases, seen succession plans that fall apart because there's a great successor as an advisor who sometimes doesn't really want to be a business owner. They don't want to handle payroll and overhead. Maybe they don't want the stress of taking on debt to buy the business. So the first word of encouragement I would give you is please don't take for granted that a great advisor necessarily wants to be the successor as the business owner. So you may want to keep in mind that those could be different skill sets in some cases. On the other side of the coin, building a plan from within works great if you have an existing team environment. So if you're listening to this and you already have an existing, say, administrative staff, maybe you have an existing client relationship manager, and you have the flexibility to slowly weave a successor advisor into your continuation plan. And again, you need to have a good 5 or so years, in our opinion, so that you can gradually exit the responsibilities of those client relationships. An internal succession plan likely would work great for you. On the other hand, if you feel like you have less than 5 years from the time that you see this message until you would like to be disinvolved with most or all of the operations, then you really should consider, in our opinion, bringing in an outside firm as part of your succession plan. So the biggest downside in most cases to bringing in an outside firm is you're going to have a conflict of culture, right? So you're going to have a way that invariably has worked great for you as you've built your practice, and the outside firm is going to have a way that they've done business in most cases that has probably worked equally well for them. So the first thing that we recommend is when you're negotiating about how those two can mesh, first consider what do you want the client experience to look like after the transition has been done. What we've often found is that if you can define that first with your succession partner, then everybody is more willing and able to compromise, meet in the middle when it comes to how we get there. We're going to do a whole nother series on that actual conversation, but that as a kind of a tidbit on the front end is something to consider. The other big thing to consider when you're working with an outside firm are what are their credentials? Have they actually done a succession plan before? Or are they really great advisors and you might be the first succession plan that they work through? The reason you should be mindful and concerned about that is just because of the business risk, the monetary risk to you that's inevitably involved when you are selling your business to a third party. So certainly if you have questions or want to connect with us, bounce any ideas off of us, We're happy to be an ear and or listen. And as always, if you have any feedback or want to visit about how we can work together in your community or with your clients, potentially on a succession plan, we would love to have that conversation. But in either case, thanks for your time today. Hope you're having a great day.